This is Miss B. Miss B is a graduate teacher who was super excited as she secured herself a full-time job at Sunnyside Primary School with a Year 4 class. Being a new experience, Miss B wanted to head into Sunnyside School before the school year started, to get her classroom ready, meet the other teachers, as well as get insight about her new students from their prior teachers. Whilst Miss B was provided with a warm welcome from the other teachers, she was shocked when conversations with the other teachers were predominantly met with a negative nature. One of the particular conversations that occurred was with Miss Roach, who warned Miss B of Ethan, being a student who would be in her new class. Miss Roach gave warning that Ethan is a student who is too smart for his own good and is impossible to engage with class content. Miss Roach explained that Ethan's behaviour is a direct result of his Chinese ethnic background, as his parents instill their beliefs of academic success with pressure upon him. After hearing this from Miss Roach, Miss B quickly realised that this conversation reflected a concept she learnt about in university, being deficit discourse. Deficit discourse can be described as the pervasive thought processes where students who are underrepresented within the classroom for various reasons, such as social or cultural grouping, are further viewed as lacking or unmanageable in the classroom through an unchangeable lens. This conversation unconsciously resulted in Miss B gaining a sense of worry in how she would successfully engage Ethan with the learning content in her classroom, as well as being worried of the pressures his parents would place upon her teaching. As Miss B further reflected, she realised that it wasn't going to positively impact either herself or Ethan if she allowed the deficit conversation to affect her in this negative way. So she became determined to implement strategies from the start of the school term with the effort to ensure Ethan enjoyed his learning through engagement in the classroom. One of the strategies Miss B implemented within her first week with her new Year 4 class was by having the students complete a Meet the Student worksheet, which involved questions including their favourite subjects, movie, book, activity, and so much more. This activity acts as a positive turnaround pedagogy, as Miss B gained an insight into her students' virtual school bags by getting to know their interests. This ultimately aligns with the first Australian teacher standard, as through getting to know her students, she can utilise this knowledge as support in creating lessons with integration of the students' interests to increase engagement in the classroom. With the motivation of ensuring Ethan felt engaged with his learning, Miss B looked into his worksheet and found out that Ethan's favourite activity was completing puzzles and problem solving. Ethan, as well as a few of the other students, also mentioned that their favourite movie was the Pirates of Caribbean series. Being the start of the year, Miss B also wanted to gain an insight of the students' prior mathematics understandings and knowledge. So a fun activity she planned with the aim to engage Ethan as well as the other students in the class was a treasure-themed escape room activity. As a gifted student, Ethan needs to be stimulated through challenges within his learning. This is because Miss B understood that it is her role to establish challenging learning goals in alignment with APST 3.1, as without this, gifted students like Ethan are inclined to become disengaged with learning content. The escape room challenge she planned involved multiple activities that the students had to complete in groups, where they had to complete each activity one at a time to receive the next clue and begin the following activity. The first activity involved maths word problems, the second involved retrieving information from a graph, and the final involved matching percentages and fractions. The students then used a decoder to translate the numbered answers from each activity into words, which will be clues to what treasure the pirates were missing. Miss B found that not only Ethan loved being challenged to implement his mathematics skills to complete the escape room activity and find the treasure, but the whole class were motivated to work collaboratively in their groups to figure out the answers for each task using strategic, mathematical, and problem-solving skills. Miss B felt so accomplished when Ethan came up to her at the end of the lesson saying how much fun he had doing the escape room and that he would love to do some more. So Miss B figured she would create more stimulating and challenging escape room activities that incorporate the interests of all students within the class, such as fairy tales, the Maze Runner movie, and so much more. And these could be used throughout the year as stimulating activities for all.